What if I told you that the most powerful force shaping your life isn't your circumstances, your past, or even your abilities, but your belief in yourself? 2,000 years ago, the Stoic philosophers discovered something remarkable. When you truly believe in yourself, obstacles become opportunities, failures become lessons, and fears lose their grip. Today, we'll unlock 10 life-changing lessons that combine ancient Stoic wisdom with modern insight to build an unshakable foundation of self-belief. Whether you're facing your biggest challenge or chasing your boldest dream, these next few minutes will transform how you see yourself forever. Lesson 1. Self-belief sets the foundation for action. It was Epictetus who said, "First tell yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do." This simple truth has stood the test of time. Everything starts with what we think about ourselves. The Stoics knew that our thoughts create our world, and that believing in yourself is the best way to reach your goals. Take the example of making a beautiful structure as a metaphor. Before the building starts, someone has to be sure that it will stand before the first stone is put or the first beam is raised. This is exactly how having faith in ourselves works in our lives. When you really believe in yourself, you set the emotional groundwork for everything that comes after. The Stoics taught us that we have full control over our thoughts and feelings in response to events that happen around us, but not over the events themselves. This is why self-confidence is so important. When you believe in yourself, you know that your worth comes from the things you think and do, not from what other people think or do. Have you ever put off going after a dream because you didn't believe in yourself? Imagine going into the same events with the calm confidence of a Stoic sage, knowing that what makes you valuable is not what happens, but how willing you are to act with virtue and purpose. This is the power of self-belief. It turns doubt into determination and hesitation into action. Remember, though, that real self-belief isn't about being hopelessly optimistic or ignoring the truth. To sum up, the Stoics said that we should be honest about our weaknesses and always strive to improve. When you believe in yourself, you are aware of both your present weaknesses and your growth potential. This sets you up for real progress. Lesson 2. Failure becomes a teacher, not a defeat. The great philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "What stands in the way of action becomes the way." This deep insight shows how having faith in ourselves changes how we deal with failure. Failures aren't ending points when you really believe in yourself. They're helpful stops on your way to growth. Think about how you deal with problems differently when you have faith in yourself. You don't see loss as a sign of how good you are. Instead, you see it as useful feedback. Every loss is an opportunity to learn, and every mistake is a way to get smarter. Stoics see loss not as something to be afraid of, but as something that happens all the time and helps us learn. The Stoics knew that our fear of failing often makes us suffer more than failing itself. When you have faith in yourself, you build what Seneca called an inner citadel, a strong place that doesn't get shook up by problems in the outside world. This doesn't mean you won't feel disappointed or angry, but it does mean that these feelings don't have to define or beat you anymore. Think about how scientists do their work. They are getting closer to a breakthrough with each failed try because it gives them useful information. When you have a lot of faith in yourself, you approach the difficulties in your life with the same open mind. Bad results are turned into data points, not dead ends. It's clear to you that every failed try is actually teaching you something useful. This change in perception is life-changing. Thinking, "What if I fail?" is not helpful when you believe in yourself. Instead, you should ask, "What can I learn?" This is the key to using failure as a teacher, having the guts to try, the knowledge to learn, and the confidence to keep going. Lesson 3. Resilience grows stronger. Epictetus said, "If something bad happens to you, it's how you handle it that matters." This lesson looks at how having faith in yourself makes you strong and resilient. When you believe in yourself, every problem you face turns into a chance to show how strong you are instead of how weak you are. The Stoics knew that being resilient doesn't mean being immune to suffering. It means keeping your core stable while life blows at you. Think about a tall bamboo tree. In a strong storm, it can bend almost all the way to the ground, but it doesn't break very often. Along with its deep roots, this flexibility is what makes it strong. In the same way, believing in yourself gives you strong roots and the flexibility to deal with life's obstacles. This perseverance shows up in real life. When bad things happen, you don't question your worth. Instead, you question how you're doing things. You don't let criticism destroy you. Instead, you look at it calmly to learn something, focusing on what we can change, like how we react to events instead of the events themselves, is what the Stoics meant. Think about how you deal with stress differently when you have faith in yourself. You don't see obstacles as overwhelming. Instead, you see them as chances to show what you can do. This isn't about denying pain or trouble. It's about keeping things in perspective and believing you can handle anything that comes your way. The great thing about this method is that each task you face makes you stronger. Your ability to deal with problems gets better every time you face a hurdle with confidence, just like a muscle gets stronger through resistance. Lesson 4. Internal validation matters most. Seneca said it well. We suffer more often in our imaginations than in reality. This lesson looks at how true self-belief changes our focus from what other people think of us to what we think of ourselves as being good. The Stoics knew that trying to get other people's approval will only lead to stress and failure. When you believe in yourself, you don't need constant approval from other people to feel good about yourself. This doesn't mean you stop caring about praise or feedback. Instead, it means you build a strong inner compass that leads your actions and decisions. You know that other people can judge the effects, but only you can judge how honest your work was. Think about how much time and effort we put into worrying about what other people think. Now imagine putting that energy into making things better and growing. When you have strong self-belief, you focus on meeting your own high standards instead of trying to win the approval of others, whose opinions change all the time. The Stoics said that we are truly free when we only care about the things we can control. You have power over your actions, efforts, and intentions, but not over other people's opinions. When you have faith in yourself, you naturally pay attention to these things, which gives you more peace of mind and more steady growth. Don't forget that this isn't about ignoring good advice or getting cocky. It's about building a strong sense of self-worth that isn't constantly thrown off by other people's opinions. This reinforcement from within you becomes your North Star, showing you the way through both praise and criticism. Lesson 5. Possibilities expand. Marcus Aurelius said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." If you believe in yourself, you can do a lot more than you thought possible. This isn't about believing in magic. It's about realizing that many of the limits we think we have are actually ones we put on ourselves. The Stoics said that how we see things affects how they really are. When you have faith in yourself, you start to see chances where other people see problems. After a while, you're more likely to take smart chances, leave your comfort zone, and go after goals that seemed impossible before. Think about how many chances we miss because we don't think we deserve or are capable of them. Having faith in yourself doesn't mean you'll succeed, but it does mean you'll try. Like seeing the world through a bigger lens, all of a sudden options that were always there but hidden by self-doubt become clear. There are more options than just big goals or big changes that come with this. It changes many small parts of daily life, like being able to stand up in meetings, try new ways to solve problems, be a leader, or follow your own interests. Every part of your life has more promise when you believe in yourself. Remember that the Stoics believed in logical optimism, which is not blind hope, but a belief that we can handle problems and learn from them. With this level of self-belief, you can see what's possible in a way that is both broad and grounded. Lesson 6. Progress compounds. The ancient Greek philosopher Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." This lesson looks at how self-belief can lead to growth and success. Believe in yourself, and you'll be more likely to keep doing what you're doing. Over time, This will help you grow even more. In finance, small payments that are made regularly grow very quickly over time. This is called compound interest. When you believe in yourself, you can grow as a person in the same way. Each small win boosts confidence, which makes people try harder, which leads to bigger wins, and so on. This creates a cycle of growth and success that keeps going. The Stoics knew that real growth doesn't come from big changes, but from repeating moral actions over time. If you believe in yourself, you're more likely to keep going even when things get hard or progress seems slow. You know that each small step forward helps you get to where you want to be. This combined effect changes every part of life. Skills get better, knowledge grows, relationships get stronger, and chances grow. But it all starts with having the confidence to take the first steps and keep going even when things get tough. Remember that growth doesn't always happen in a straight line. Having faith in yourself will help you keep things in perspective when you hit a wall or lose your way. You know that these are normal parts of growth and not signs of failure or limits. Lesson 7. Fear loses its grip. Seneca said, "We are more often scared than hurt, and we suffer more from our thoughts than from reality." This lesson looks at how self-belief naturally weakens fear's grip on us. Fear doesn't tell you to run away when you really believe in yourself. It tells you to pay attention. The Stoics taught that a lot of our fears come from wrong ideas about what we can handle. When you have strong self-belief, you know that even if things don't go as planned, you can still react and change. In this way, fear goes from being a crippling feeling to one that can be handled. Think about how many chances we miss because we're afraid. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, even fear of succeeding. Self-belief doesn't get rid of these fears, but it gives you the strength to act anyway. When you start to question yourself, it's like having a trusted friend by your side to remind you of what you can do. This change in how we deal with fear has real-world effects in every area of our lives. Being confident in yourself makes it easier to deal with problems at work, in relationships, and in new projects. You know that fear is normal, but it doesn't have to hold you back. Remember that the goal isn't to become brave, but to fear less, to keep your cool and your confidence when things aren't going as planned. This is how powerful self-belief really is when it comes to fear. Lesson 8. You have more energy and motivation. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, "I am rising to do the work of a human being." This lesson looks at how believing in ourselves naturally gives us more energy and drive. When you believe in yourself, you get motivation and drive that lasts. The Stoics knew that our mental state has a big effect on how much energy we have. When you believe in yourself, problems turn into chances to learn and grow. This change in viewpoint naturally makes you more energized and eager to act. Think about how you do things differently when you think you will succeed and when you think you will fail. Self-belief makes you look forward to good things, which gives you energy instead of draining it. It's like having a battery inside that gets charged by doing things instead of being drained by them. Every part of life is affected by this extra energy and drive. Work is more interesting, relationships are more lively, and personal growth is more thrilling. You don't have to force yourself to move forward. You simply take the lead and stick with things when they get tough. Remember that this isn't about keeping your energy level high all the time. It's about having a reliable way to recharge by believing in yourself and your cause. Lesson 9. Authenticity emerges. Epictetus said, "First learn what you say, and then speak." This lesson looks at how having faith in yourself simply makes you more real. When you believe in yourself, you don't need to act like someone else at all times. The Stoics stressed how important it was to live in line with our nature and beliefs. This is easy to do when you have strong self-belief because you trust your own worth instead of trying to fit in with what other people want. It gets easier for you to say what you really think, feel, and believe. Think about how much energy we use to keep up appearances or try to be what other people want us to be. This energy is opened up for real expression and growth when you believe in yourself. Your work has more meaning, Your relationships are more real, and the decisions you make are more in line with your morals. Being authentic doesn't mean being rigid or not caring about other people. Instead, it means being honest and consistent in your relationships while still being willing to learn and grow. It's about being sure of yourself enough to be real instead of perfect. Remember that being real takes courage, and having faith in yourself gives you confidence. That way, you can stand strong in your truth while still being open to new ideas and chances to grow. Lesson 10. Your dreams can come true. It is not because things are hard that we don't dare. It is because we do not dare that things are hard, Seneca said. This last lesson looks at how self-belief can turn dreams from far-off hopes into goals that can be reached. When you believe in yourself, you start breaking down your bigger dreams into steps that you can take. If you believe in yourself, plan ahead, and keep doing what you're supposed to do, you can make the impossible doable. The Stoics knew that success doesn't come from thinking about what you want, but from acting on clear principles. Think of a dream that you've kept close but not acted on. Believing in yourself is the link between thinking and doing. This helps you look past the problems you're facing right now and focus on the opportunities that lie ahead, all while keeping the realistic outlook that is needed for growth. This process of turning dreams into attainable goals affects all areas of life, including job goals, personal growth, relationships, and giving back to the community. You start to believe that you can do great things while still being humble enough to learn and grow along the way. Remember that having faith in yourself doesn't mean you'll succeed, but it does mean you'll give your dreams a real chance to come true. Self-belief may have its most powerful effect when it turns us from passively wanting something to actively making it happen.